The Pittsburgh Steelers are not just coming off another playoff defeat. They are standing at a crossroads, and Mike Tomlin knows it. Moments after the loss to the Houston Texans, emotions were raw, the stadium was loud, and the questions were immediate. But Tomlin chose his words carefully, and in my view, what he did not say matters as much as what he did. Before we go deeper into this, make sure to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and click the hype button right now. This story is bigger than a single game, and what comes next could redefine the future of this franchise. Tomlin made it clear that his focus, at least publicly, was locked on what happened inside that stadium. He said he was not in the mindset to address the big picture. He spoke about what the team did and did not do, about execution, about the reality of the night. That response sounded calm, but it also sounded heavy. This was not just coach speak. This was a man processing another early playoff exit and another season ending without a deep run, something that has become far too familiar in Pittsburgh. The game itself told a brutal story. Any sense of momentum disappeared quickly. Houston controlled the contest, and the gap between the teams was obvious. The Steelers stayed alive into the fourth quarter, largely because C.J. Stroud turned the ball over 3 times. Even with those gifts, Pittsburgh could not capitalize. The final score, 30-6, says it all. The Texans outgained the Steelers by 233 yards, sacked Aaron Rodgers 4 times, and hit him a total of 12 times. That is dominance. That is exposure. And the fans felt it. Inside Acrisure Stadium, boos rained down. Fire Tomlin chants were heard again. That reaction is not about one night. It is about years of frustration, about expectations not being met, about a standard that once defined this organization now being questioned. This is where the pressure intensifies because silence and patience only last so long in a city like Pittsburgh. Here is where things get even more interesting. Reports continue to suggest the Steelers will not fire Tomlin outright. He has 1 year left on his contract with a team option for the 2027 season. That means stability on paper. But reality is rarely that simple. Tomlin could choose to walk away. He could decide that a new challenge elsewhere is the right move. And when he recently spoke on The Rich Eisen Show, he shut down talk of television work, saying he is built for coaching, that he needs it, that football has shaped his entire life since 1980. This is why speculation is unavoidable. The Steelers may need a new direction, but that change likely only happens if Tomlin makes the first move. His legacy is secure. One of the winningest coaches in league history, 19 seasons, countless playoff appearances. If he leaves, opportunities will line up fast. If he stays, the pressure will be unlike anything we have seen before. And that brings us to the moment everyone is waiting for. The dust has not settled yet, but the clock is ticking. Every decision from here on shapes the offseason, the roster, and the identity of this team. So the question is simple, but the consequences are massive. Is Mike Tomlin preparing to close one chapter in Pittsburgh, or is he about to double down and fight for the future of the Steelers like never before? The silence inside the room did not last long. Minutes after the Steelers were eliminated, the focus was no longer just the loss. It shifted to the tone, the tension, and the words coming from Aaron Rodgers. What we witnessed in that post-game press conference was not routine frustration.
From being with Mike for a season about him.
I've answered that a number of times. I've talked extensively about how I feel about Mike. And I just did in that fucking answer, so. Thanks.
All right.
In my opinion, it was a warning sign, and it deserves attention because moments like this often reveal more than the box score ever could. The Steelers had just been dominated by the Houston Texans, 30-6, in front of their own fans at Acrisure Stadium. This defeat extended a painful reality. 7 straight playoff losses dating back to the AFC Championship game in 2016. That weight was already heavy. But when Rodgers took the podium, it became clear the pressure had reached a boiling point. His answers were sharp, his posture defensive, and his patience nearly gone. Rodgers had already gone out of his way to defend Mike Tomlin. He spoke about respect, about support, about trust. He dismissed hot seat rumors as an absolute joke. Then another question came. Another push. And that was the moment everything changed. Rodgers snapped. His response was raw, direct, and unfiltered. He made it clear he was done repeating himself, and the frustration spilled out in a way that cannot be ignored. On the field, Rodgers struggled. 17 completions, 146 yards, no touchdowns. Sacked 4 times for a loss of 36 yards. hit repeatedly behind an offensive line that could not hold. At 41 years old, this was not just a bad night. It was a reminder of how thin the margin has become. And when a veteran quarterback reacts like this publicly, it raises questions that go far beyond one game. This outburst was not really about the media. It was about accountability, loyalty, and fatigue. Rodgers stood firmly behind Tomlin, even as criticism grows louder across Pittsburgh. Tomlin is now 0-7 in his last 7 playoff games. The franchise has not won a postseason game since January 2017. 9 seasons, 7 straight losses. For a standard this organization once set that is unacceptable to many. Rodgers also brushed aside criticism from online voices, calling out what he sees as noise from people who have never been inside a locker room. But here is the reality. The numbers do not care about emotion, and neither does time. Rodgers finished the season with over 3,300 yards, 24 touchdowns, and 7 interceptions. Solid production. A 10-win season. A division title. And yet, the ending was the same. After the press conference, Rodgers refused to say whether he would return next season. He said he needs time. Time away. That uncertainty now hangs over Pittsburgh. Tomlin is expected back in 2026. Stability is the Steelers' identity. No head coach fired since 1968. But stability only works when results follow. The Rodgers-Tomlin partnership lasted 1 season. One intense, emotional, pressure-filled season. And after that explosion at the podium, the real question is unavoidable. Was that outburst the sound of a competitor defending his coach, or the first crack in a relationship that may already be coming to an end? If you want to stay ahead of everything unfolding in Pittsburgh, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and click the hype button now. Because what comes next could reshape the future of the Steelers, and the next answer from Aaron Rodgers might be even louder.